Have you ever felt lost? Even though nothing is technically wrong? You wake up. You go through your routine. You meet responsibilities. You survive the day. From the outside, your life looks stable. But inside, something feels missing. Not sadness. Not depression. Just a quiet sense of disconnection. Today, we'll explore why so many people feel lost in life, even when they're doing everything they were told was right. This isn't a motivational talk. This is a psychological and philosophical explanation of the modern human condition. 1. Feeling lost is not failure, it's awareness. 1:20 to 3:10. Most people assume feeling lost means something is wrong with them. Psychology says the opposite. According to Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Feeling lost often appears when your external life no longer matches your internal truth. You're growing, but your life hasn't caught up yet. Children rarely feel lost. They live instinctively. Adults feel lost because they begin questioning, why am I doing this? Is this really my life? Who am I becoming? That questioning is not weakness. It's consciousness awakening. Society trains you to function, not to understand yourself. Most people assume feeling lost means something is wrong with them. Psychology says the opposite. According to Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Feeling lost often appears when your external life no longer matches your internal truth. You're growing, but your life hasn't caught up yet. Children rarely feel lost. They live instinctively. Adults feel lost because they begin questioning, why am I doing this? Is this really my life? Who am I becoming? That questioning is not weakness. It's consciousness awakening. 2. Society trains you to function, not to understand yourself. Modern society teaches you how to operate, not how to reflect. From a young age, you're taught. Get good grades, choose a career, earn money, be productive, but no one teaches how to understand emotions, how to find meaning, how to sit with uncertainty. Philosopher Alan Watts once said, "We are living in a culture entirely hypnotized by the illusion of time. You're trained to chase the next step so fast that you never ask, is this even my direction?" Feeling lost is often the moment you stop running. 3. The silent conflict between who you are and who you pretend to be. Psychology calls this identity dissonance. It happens when your actions don't match your values, your lifestyle doesn't match your inner needs, your image doesn't match your truth. You may appear confident, but feel empty. You may be successful, but feel disconnected. Carl Jung warned, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Most people never do, not because they can't, but because they're afraid to disappoint others. Feeling lost is often the pain of living someone else's expectations. 4. Why comfort can create emptiness. Here's a truth few people talk about. Comfort can disconnect you from purpose. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, discovered that humans don't suffer most from pain. They suffer from meaninglessness. When survival is no longer the problem, meaning becomes the question. That's why people with stable lives still feel empty. They have comfort but no inner direction. Frankl wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Without a why, even a good life feels hollow." 5. The mind wants clarity, life gives ambiguity. The human brain hates uncertainty. Neuroscience shows that ambiguity triggers anxiety more than known pain. So when you don't know what you truly want, where you're heading, who you're becoming, your mind labels it as being lost. But philosophy teaches us something powerful. Soren Kierkegaard, the father of existential philosophy, said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. You are not meant to have everything figured out." Feeling lost is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're in transition. 6. The myth that everyone else knows what they're doing. Social media creates a dangerous illusion that everyone else has clarity. But psychology reveals something else. Most people are improvising their lives. They're just hiding their uncertainty better. Philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre explained, "We are condemned to be free. Freedom is terrifying. So people cling to labels, routines, and identities. Feeling lost often means you're no longer hiding behind illusions. 7. Disconnection from self comes before burnout. Burnout doesn't start with exhaustion. It starts with emotional disconnection. You stop feeling joy. Curiosity fades. Everything feels mechanical. Psychologists note that burnout is not about working too hard. It's about working without meaning. When your actions no longer align with your values, your nervous system reacts. Feeling lost is often your mind asking, "Is this still worth it?" 8. Ancient philosophy knew this phase well. Stoic philosophers called this phase inner realignment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." The Stoics believed periods of confusion were necessary for growth. They didn't rush clarity. They practiced patience, observation, and discipline. Feeling lost is not an emergency. It's an invitation to reevaluate. 9. You don't need answers, you need direction. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to solve their entire life at once. Psychology suggests a different approach. Reduce noise, clarify values, take small aligned actions. Clarity comes after movement. You don't find yourself by thinking. You find yourself by living intentionally. Even uncertainty becomes bearable when your actions feel honest. 10. The quiet truth no one tells you. Feeling lost often appears before growth, before transformation, before reinvention. Every meaningful life passes through confusion. As author Hermann Hesse wrote, "Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go. You may not be lost. You may be shedding an old version of yourself." Closing, 2240 to 2400 hours. If you feel lost right now, pause. Not everything unclear is wrong. Not every quiet phase is empty. Some chapters are meant to be felt, not solved. You don't need to rush meaning. You don't need to panic about direction. Sometimes, feeling lost is simply the mind making space for a truer life to emerge. And when clarity arrives, it will feel less like an answer and more like recognition.